Starting July 1st, the Palm Springs USD will have a new superintendent. As we reported, Dr. Mike Swize, who is currently the district's Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, will replace Dr. Sandra Lyon, who is retiring after 5 years in the post. I spoke with Dr. Swize today about the district's future and the return of students back to classrooms. Dr. Swize, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
First off, tell us a little bit about yourself, your history with the district, and your thoughts on becoming the next superintendent.
Well, this is my 31st year in Palm Springs Unified. So I started as a classroom teacher in Desert Hot Springs at Desert Springs Middle School, and then worked at the district office for a few years, became a principal at elementary and then also at middle school, and then back here at the district office. And I've been the proud assistant superintendent for educational services for about 10 years. And I'm very honored that the board has chosen me as the next superintendent for the district.
Did you ever think that one day you would become superintendent?
Well, actually, I did. So I'll be honest that it's been a goal of mine. Both of my parents were educational administrators, and my mom retired as a superintendent of a district in Colorado. So teaching's in our blood. We're educators, and it's certainly a job that I'm very familiar with and know how challenging it can be, but it's something that I've always wanted to do.
And speaking of challenges, in less than a month, the district has plans to return its first batch of students back to the classroom. So tell us about the district's plans and what's left in the process before that happens.
Okay, well, let me first just say we can't wait. So ever since March 13th of 2020, which was our last day in session, we've been anxious to get our staff and students back in school safely. And so with the public health news in Riverside County, and it keeps improving daily, which is wonderful, and lots of work by our teachers, our classified staff, our administrators, and lots of work by our families and students to get through this period of distance learning. We're so excited for April, mid-April, to be the return for our staff and students. We know we can do that safely because we've spent all of these months really preparing, poring over the guidance, visiting our schools, making sure that we're really very well prepared. And so we're all very excited.
The return date of April 12th and 19th is pretty late in the school year. I'm curious, does the district have plans to possibly extend the school year? We understand that there's a state bill that was passed, and that's supposed to provide funding to give districts more flexibility for that option.
Well, first, let me just say part of the later start in April really is due to our school calendar, which had been adopted previously. We have a 2-week spring break, unlike many school districts who have a 1-week spring break. So really April 12th is almost the earliest that we could get in. We considered coming back at the very end of March, but we knew we'd just be back for about a week and then take the 2-week spring break and then start back up in April. So part of that later start is because of our calendar. So that's an important piece. As far as extending the school year, what we are going to do is extend learning opportunities. So we're going to make sure, just as we did last summer, that all students have an opportunity to catch up on any grade level skills, to get ahead where they can get ahead, and to really be prepared for the fall. One thing that will be slightly different is we're looking at an in-person summer learning opportunity for our students, not just online. So that will also be limited by size, by the number of teachers who are able to work, and also the size of the classrooms where we can keep 6 feet apart. But if students aren't able to attend in person, then we're working really hard to have some online options for them as well throughout the summer.